We good? All right. We'll stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone, consideration of the agenda, please.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, consent agenda, which would be the claims 916 and 924. Claims for 10-2 and 10-10. Minutes from 9-9 and student attendance agreements. One kindergartner going and one 8th grader to West Valley and one kindergartner to Kalispell.
And these are kids that have not gone here, they have always gone stuff with us. That's good. Do we have a follow-up question? Okay, I'll move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
All those in favor?
Thank
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, public comments. Any public comment?
Question? How many kindergartners do we have? Is there another one? Or is that whoever's attending is just
9. We have 9 now.
9?
No public.
No public comment. Okay, discussion. Classified personal days and loss of wage concerns. We would like to try to keep this down to not a 3-hour discussion, okay? Everybody needs to be heard. We just want to make sure that it's
She's saying
not.
that for my benefit, I get a little talk.
Okay.
I get you.
Okay, so, just pretty much say whatever you need to say and then, we can discuss,
Okay,
okay?
sure. So, I received your letter. Well, first I wrote you a letter about this, and I think I had something to, maybe some complaints, and then you wrote me back, and I wrote you another letter, just last week, explaining where my, complaints or my concerns come from. And I think the main thing was really there was a huge lack of communication before we went to this 4-day week. And we were told that our loss of wages were gonna be, there were gonna be some loss, but it wasn't gonna be something super substantial. And also that we would at least partially be compensated for the loss of wages that we got going into the 4-day week. I think we maybe walked into that 4-day week very confident that things were going to be fine. But adding the numbers together for us classified, we use almost a whole month of wages per year with this new 4-day week. On top of that, we're losing now 4 personal days, which really adds up to 8 personal days because we lose the 4 personal days that we can't use. On top of that, now we have to use our vacation time or a sick time that we can cash in at the end of the year to cover for those personal days. So if you add all that together, that comes up to almost a whole monthly income. And for classified personnel, that's a huge amount because that's what we rely on in the summertime. We rely on that extra, income to cover for the summertime.
They're cashing out of the vacation.
For example, yeah. I think we weren't also communicated things very clearly. The 2% raise that came up well into the school year started. The 8.5 hours that we could actually punch in, that came up really late into the school year as well. I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks after we started, we weren't aware of it. So a lot of us, some of us can't even take advantage of that 8.5 hour day. So that can't, that can't compensate for everything. And the 2% received thing, we weren't really aware of it until I happened to talk to, I can't remember when it was Shannon or someone who told me that there was a 2% rate. I think it was she that mentioned it, like in the hallway, like it was never told to us specifically. Same with the 4 personal days that were taken off. The only reason I found out about it is because I read the minutes of that board meeting in August. Nobody had told us before you made the decision. Nobody came and told us after the decision was made. We just read the minutes and that's how we found out. And so, yeah. And I think that was the start of me writing the letter in the first place.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or anything they would like to add to that?
So was anything given in writing, like, I know you guys don't have like a contract like teachers, but are you given something about your, I don't know, like your salary schedule or what you're going to be making? Is there anything
Yeah,
like
so
that?
we signed a contract.
You do?
At the end of the last school year, we signed a contract.
Okay,
And it tells us, our hourly rate for the coming year. So that we were aware of.
and that included the 2%?
Apparently it did, but I didn't know it did.
Gotcha.
I just saw the number and I thought,
Okay.
oh, that's just there was no mention of the 2% raise in there.
Right, okay, but it was calculated into that.
Yes, in the contract.
And when you kind of said something like, we were moving into the 4-day week and you kind of had some conversations. And I think you put that in that letter, who those conversations were with. And then you kind of thought it would be fine. And can you define what you mean? Like, did you think you were gonna make the same wage?
No, I knew
As
that
last year?
it was not gonna be exactly the same, but I didn't think that my difference in wages would be a whole month worth. Like, I thought, I mean, even a few $100s is a lot of money for someone that doesn't make a whole lot of money to begin with. So you have to prepare for that. So I figured, I don't know, $300-400 that I can deal with, but this is almost $2,400, which is a lot of money.
And is that maybe partly, I'm just kind of wondering out loud, is that partly because when it was calculated, it was, the 8.5 hour day, which you said you're not able to do, but
now I'm able to
you didn't
do
know
it.
it was available to
I
you.
didn't know it was available, and at first I could not do it because I had volleyball.
Right.
And I know some other parents can't do it at all
Okay.
because they have other commitments.
I'm just wondering if that few $100 discussion came from that being the difference in the wage, but not considering the other things like the personal things and things that have changed.
Well, I think
Right.
the personal days, you guys decided that in August, so
Right.
that was not even decided when we had
Right.
that conversation about maybe losing a
Right.
little bit of income with Shannon and Julia, that was back in June, or
Okay.
that was before the end of last school year.
Before it was actually decided on.
Yeah.
Before there was even. Right. Yeah, that was a decision that we made late in the summer, for sure. Those are my questions.
So I had a question. I don't know if it was the first letter or the second letter where it was, you weren't sure, you didn't know you had 8.5 hours available. So then, just curious, what was communicated to you guys schedule wise going into the 4-day week? Like, what were you told, like start time, end time?
We weren't told anything, really. We were told it's gonna go down to a 4-day week. Raylene and my schedule, we have to be out at least at 7:50. So I knew I had to start at least at 7:50, be out there
Okay.
for the kiddos that come in the morning. and the day ends at 4, but we weren't given a specific
Contract.
time of when we have to be here and when we have to, you know, clock out.
So the 7, and I know I should know this, school starts at 8 or 8:05? Okay, sorry. I know I should know this. So that was coming at 7:50. Is that like a duty you have then?
We have a duty,
Okay.
yeah, we have a.
You both have that?
So the contract doesn't state how many hours per day or how many hours per week or anything like that.
No,
Just basically like you're hired in this position.
yeah,
But it doesn't say a start time or end
Full
time.
time or. I just haven't seen the actual, I guess, wording.
Are you able to cash out your sick leave?
You can't cash out your sick leave until you see the district.
yeah,
All right.
I believe it's only the vacation. time.
And how many days a year sick leave do you get?
I think she counts it depending on how many hours we work, so.
Right.
But basically that's figured out that,
Yeah, I just.
so. 24, 25, based on the amount of school hours they should accrue 63.47 hours. 24.5, sorry. And this year it's 59.0 hours. Reduction of 4 hours.
So are you aware you can use your sick leave for, if you have an appointment, we're not policing that. So you can use your sick leave in lieu, because without having the personal days, you can still use the sick leave. And
Not with that, we haven't had, Brady and I haven't had major issues, but the sick leave can go pretty fast. To me, it's also more of a. It seems like we're always the go-to. Oh, let's, we need to budget something. Let's parents, we don't need to pay them for this, so we don't need to pay them for that. I remember a conversation with, I think it was with Julia last year. I would go to these middle school meetings, maybe it was 2 years ago, to help out. And because I worked with the middle school kiddos, I would go and attend these middle school meetings, which means I would clock in 10 minutes earlier once a week, 10 minutes per week earlier to go to those meetings. And I got told that I couldn't do that because it was costing too much money for 10 little minutes per week, which is what, if I make $18 an hour, 10 minutes is really not much. It's like $3. So to me, it seems like every little corner that can be cut off, it seems like the classified staff is the easy go-to.
well, I myself haven't noticed that, but I'm not seeing your paychecks.
Right.
So the only paychecks I actually see are the ones that I sign. Other than that, I don't see anybody's paycheck, so.
Well, I do remember we had a big discussion when we were talking about the possibility of going to a 4-day week. That was one of our big concerns. We were like, okay, so we have hourly employees. How will this impact them? Is it going to be a devastating impact? Is it going to be minimal? Is it going to be manageable? What can we do, right? To kind of like adjust as much as possible. And what I remember hearing, and maybe it's just this, like, if you don't hear a concern, you assume that you kind of assume consent or assume people are okay with things if they're not bringing it to you, right? So since we hadn't heard from any classified staff after all these discussions, what we were kind of hearing was that everybody's okay with the reduction in hours and they're excited to have a day off to do their personal business and things like that, right? So this is what we were hearing as a board, and we were like, okay, so it's a minimal impact, right? In terms of like, they're getting this trade-off of like time, and they are being cut in some hours, but let's give them the raise that we can give them to kind of bump it up as much as we can. So I think we did try to keep that very much in kind of like the forefront, but maybe we didn't have enough like back and forth communication, right? To kind of know, to kind of hear all the big picture things that you guys see, right?
And I feel that, and honestly, if it's just one little thing,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, it's no big deal. We love the kids. I work here for the
Sure.
kids mainly. I'm not trying to, become a millionaire by working here. by any means, but I think it's. No, but it's, I don't know how to say it. It just seems like it's. I should not have to always complain about something to be seen or to be, valued. And guys, we're gonna be here no matter what. Relina and I, we love these kids. We're gonna do the job no matter what. It's not the point, but I feel like we need to be as classified. We're not certified, but we're not just paras. We do a lot of the jobs that nobody else wants to do, And
So it's kind of what I'm hearing you say is like, you're not maybe feeling as valued,
yeah.
right?
And the time I felt the least valued is when I read those minutes and I saw, oh, now they're taking away 4 personal days without even, asking us how we feel about it. I know we don't, it's not like we can say, no, you've got to keep our 4 personal days, but
Right.
I know it's just 4 personal days. Like you said, we can use our sick days, but it's the fact that this was done and nobody took the time to maybe warn us before, at least, this is gonna happen, or this is gonna be a discussion. And nobody came afterwards to tell us, listen, this is what happened for me. It was like, well, this is.
Yeah, and I guess I will admit to not knowing all the ins and outs of how all of that works. I guess from my perspective, we were looking at other districts, what they do with classified staff, and nobody else does personal days, right? They do just sick leave, and our certified staff has gone to discretionary, so it's kind of all got lumped together. So they don't have personal days and sick days. It's kind of all, they have their days, and that's it, right? And then so kind of my logical brain went, oh, they have 1 day off a week. So it doesn't make sense to give additional days when we're already working a lot fewer days than they have this time, right? And nobody else does it. So why are we doing it? And I guess what I didn't fully understand is that there was a payout to that extent that you could get for those. I kind of thought it was, in my mind, I was thinking it was like a use it or lose it, right? Like you use the days or you don't. So
days are used, they have always been use it or lose it.
they have been, but I didn't know they got paid out if they don't use them.
Personally,
No, they do not.
No.
So that's when they were calculating the hours. I thought that.
I have to, let's say my kiddo, I get cold because he has another seizure.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go to town and I'm gonna use my personal days.
Right.
Sick day for that.
sick day.
Or,
Right.
Whatever.
okay, but if something
Okay.
happens, I would use my personal day first because I know I can't cash those out.
Ever.
I count on that vacation time at the end of the year to cash it out. So
Oh,
it makes
I
me go
understand.
through the
Okay.
summer without that, hourly income.
Right, okay, I get it now. So you were right.
The personal
So
days
it's a-
first.
It
because
was a
you can't
use it
cash
or
them out.
lose it situation. It's not like by making that decision, we were taking X amount of dollars from you. It's just more that you had to trade it out for sick days that you could have cashed out
Or
if
vacation.
you didn't use them.
Vacation.
Vacation, now if I have to use my
That makes
vacation
sense.
time instead of
Yeah.
my personal time,
Okay,
then now I can't cash out those days and I'm using, from my personal days that I used to have, I'm
Okay.
using my vacation time. And I can't cash that out, so now that's the money
Got it.
that comes
Okay.
out of my,
got it. And with this, so Shannon, is sick time something that, can we change how that's calculated? Or is that just a state thing?
It's a state
MC, okay.
Yeah.
It's X number of hours equals X number of.
And they only can cash out 25% of it when they leave.
Okay.
So it's beneficial to use your sick leave before you use vacation leave.
And your sick days, like, so if I was gonna take Stephanie to the doctor, I can't use sick days. I would have to use personal day.
Right.
Because it's not my appointment, it's her appointment, even though I was doing that for her.
Right,
You can use
but we're saying
technically
we don't.
sick leave
Yeah.
is for you, your family,
Yes.
anybody in your family.
Right,
Because although I was gonna take her for her colonoscopy last year, and you said, no, you can't do that, you have to, so.
Right.
But you're saying we don't police
Well,
that, right?
if she hadn't told me.
Yeah. So when they put in
Because
their
I have-
absence report, I
I'd
actually
say
asked them
sick
not to
time.
put
Why?
what for, because I want to celebrate if they're going to a concert and they only have sick day, I want to celebrate they're going to, I want to be like, yeah, we're going to a concert, it's gonna be really fun. Or, I
mental health day.
I want them to not have to, I don't want to police it, it's their time,
Right. This is just me and my job. We had a crew member call in sick and posted something on Facebook about a concert he was at, and they tried to fire him. So I don't want to go down
No.
that road.
either.
No.
I mean, if we're committing to them that we're not policing that camera, then that's important that they know that.
in the board policy, but since we kind of went that way with our teaching staff where everything was lumped, I try to mimic that because that's not their police and the
Right.
teaching staff aren't. And I want to celebrate their life with them, not police how they're using their
Everything.
hours. Yeah.
Right.
And even in the board policy, it says mental.
Yep.
Mental health,
Mental health.
and who can say what
Positive or
mental health
negative
is?
mental health.
Who can say what a mental health day is for me, if it's going to a concert,
Somebody
then.
else might be.
That's right.
And that was my concern too, was equity. So I'm glad that you got that.
Mine
And
too.
Sherry, I appreciate how you phrase it because we don't know, we don't know. So thank you for being brave and letting us know. Even if there's nothing we can do, it's still important. Why is Siri listening? Even if there's nothing we can do, it's important that you know that we value you and that it wasn't malicious. It's not like, oh, let's take this from
I
them.
thought it was malicious. I think that sometimes it's easy to forget the little people. And it's, maybe I'm not a good public speaker and this is a big deal for me to come in, and talk like this, a huge deal. I don't like being in this position. Whereas maybe some other people have louder voices and have no problem coming and talking about certain things at staff meetings and such. But I just feel like and I realize you guys are not like, you did not just, and rub your hands and say, we're gonna do this to classified people. But I think that there's a point where it just adds up and it's like, you guys have to also be aware that this is how we feel, like, and maybe we're not constantly knocking on your door and complaining, but we're still here and we're still,
So kind of what would make that communication piece, from your perspective, what would make that better for things in general? Or just like if there's decisions being made, or like, what would you like to see happen?
I really think that if it's a decision made for what's going on with us classified, I think we should be part of at least, maybe we can discuss it, but at least knowing in advance what's gonna happen, made aware of what the decision will be or what the process will be.
Yes.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd be up for it, but I know we have PTO, teacher rep, and clerk and principal.
Right.
Can we ask that they have a classified rep that comes in and tell us how they're working
At the meeting.
at every meeting?
Yeah.
That way they have a way
Yeah.
to come in every time and talk about what you're doing and what you're seeing, what you need, those types of things. And it's pre-planned every meeting that we make sure we involve, or at least they've kept the floor for them.
Yeah.
Because the teachers in the union, they all take turns coming.
Yeah.
You
And
guys, of
sometimes they
course,
don't say
have a
much.
union, but a lot of times what happens in those conversations is like when we did the policy thing, okay, I need to take this back to them so they know. I need to take this back to them so they know.
And a liaison to everybody else in your group.
So you guys are always welcome to come to the board meetings or just see what's even on the agenda. Hey, does this affect us? Can one of us go? Talk amongst yourselves, whatever the case may be. We're always begging for people to come to board meetings. The more the merrier.
Well,
Right.
and maybe it wouldn't even have to be an official capacity. because
Yeah.
They may not want to come,
Right.
but
But invite them.
always know you're welcome.
Yeah.
And put it under,
Always.
what would it be, discussion? If they didn't have a liaison? Like, would that just be discussion?
Committee reports and no, that would be official.
Right, it's teacher report, you just do teacher /
Teacher/class.
But are you thinking like they would come and give us a report like they do?
It depends, honestly, it'd be up to them if they want to have a more official capacity or just changing it to teacher / classified
Or just
rep.
staff,
And then they
yeah.
could come if they
You
want.
could
to.
just add classified rep, and
Yeah.
if they don't have anything, then
Yeah.
just
If there's nobody there.
Like public.
I don't want to get more work on your plate.
I don't want to talk on other classifieds behalf, so I think that's something that we probably should ask.
Yeah.
Yes,
For
exactly.
everybody, because it's not just the two of us, there's,
Right.
more of us than.
I mean, that could even be Terry, Sandy, and Heather.
Yeah.
Krista, me.
And
Oh, I have
honestly, I don't know, maybe this is a board admin clerk discussion we need to have, but we're a small school, obviously, you guys know that. bigger schools, how they run things is they have like an HR department, or they have somebody who's specifically communicating things to all staff members that are coming from whatever, like superintendent, principal, and then things get disseminated, right? There's not really a clear structure in our size of district of who is responsible for communicating with who, except like Julia obviously communicates to teachers because she supervises them, right? And there's the teachers union who communicates directly with the board oftentimes, right? With you guys, it's kind of like, does that fall to Julia? Does that fall to the board? Does that fall to Shannon as the person who does sort of the HR role unofficially? You're not their boss though, right? So that's, I think that might be kind of somehow, I'm not making excuses, I'm trying to solve a problem, but I think sometimes we don't even know who's supposed to be communicating these things, right? So then nobody does. If that makes sense, that's kind of what I'm seeing happen possibly. So we need to figure out who is going to do that role in our districts.
So maybe going forward, what we can do is if there's anything that we feel that classified needs to know, we will designate at that meeting, Julia, would you please let the classified know? Or if it's like a payroll issue, Shannon,
Yeah,
would you
something's coming
please-
up at the next meeting.
would you please let them know these changes that are about? So, and don't ever be afraid to come talk to us. We haven't chopped any heads off in a long time.
It's been a while.
So that's not our intention.
I feel like as a board, we need to kind of decide what.
Yeah, how that's
that should avenue, because I see it a tiny bit differently.
okay.
But I think we could.
Yeah.
Maybe talk
Well,
about
and
that.
we all might have our own idea of how we think it should go, but I don't know that we've ever had that discussion or come to.
Because I feel like this was weird because it's the first year of the 4-day. So we
Yeah.
knew going in, like some bombs were gonna explode big time and we're gonna have to be putting out a lot of fires. So I feel like maybe as a collective community, school, whatever, we could have maybe foreseen some of these bombs. And some of them are just like, we don't even know. Like it's just kind of there. So I feel like now going into it, continuing this year and then going forward, I think, especially even like the scheduling, because that was in one of your letters, like I wasn't sure, what time do I start? What time do I end? I'm like, why do we not know? Like, why was that not something that was given to you? Who's supposed to give it to you? That's what we need to decide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things. I'm like, I would hate that, knowing that it's changing and what time do I show up? Okay, you had a morning duty, so you knew, but you know what I mean? Like, I would hate that. And I'm also very cheap. If I knew there's 8.5 hours, I want my 8.5 hours. I want every penny that's available to me. So.
And if we would have known like ahead of summer that there was gonna be time available, yes, it was told to us, but it's like, we already had all these things. planned.
Sure. And I think that was,
So
just we're
that was-
trying to throw anything we
Yeah.
can your way as an effort to give you guys
Yeah.
any chance of,
Yeah. Right.
recouping.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would have taken that, more advantage of that if I would have known
Right.
ahead of time.
And to be
But
honest,
it's
we
like-
didn't know till
Yeah.
then. So in full
Yeah.
trend, like, we didn't know what was or wasn't gonna be available based on what we had going on for the year and the summer and the plans and.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of those things that we didn't know. We didn't know if we could or would or should or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
So, and again, ahead of time, if you guys know that that's even gonna be an option for next summer, it would be great to know before July.
right.
Okay, can I clarify? Are you guys talking about like summer maintenance and things like that? Okay. Just
So
wanted to
then
make
I'm
sure.
wondering, like,
Okay.
when we do like
To kind
summer
of recoup
maintenance,
some of the
that
lost.
Yeah,
instead of hiring a crew
Hours.
for certain things, like way ahead of time,
Hire
was to
within
go
our-
out to them, like first right of refusal type of thing,
Right.
and then we kind of plan it type thing. Because there's also some stuff that we have to know it's gonna get done at a certain time before snow flies, and before the kids get here and all that, so. Okay. Thank you for
Is that
coming
good?
and writing those letters. I really
Yes,
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate that.
thank you, Stephanie.
Okay, committee reports, PTO, please.
Oh, I guess it's me. And I'm like looking around. Halloween carnival's coming up.
Thanks.
Halloween carnival and then turkey bingo. So yeah, we're just gearing up for all that fun stuff. Volunteers are always needed. And oh yeah, the book fair is the first week of November also.
When is turkey bingo?
the 21st of November.
Whatever that Friday is.
Yeah, the Friday before Thanksgiving. Halloween, you went with the weekend before. The 25th, yeah.
The 25th.
It's a good day. Julie. We're having a big party here for Mrs. Maxwell's birthday.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody's gonna dress up for it. Yeah, everybody's gonna dress up for it.
Can you tell me that that's a good sport, but
No, it's Tuesday through Friday, the first week of November. Sweet treat. I think it's like the 4th through the 7th-ish.
Okay. Thank you. Teacher Rick,
that's me.
was that it?
I think so.
Okay.
Got many hats today. I think that there's a field trip tomorrow for K3. They're going to the pumpkin patch. Fourth grade, with the government shutdown, was not able to go to the Glacier National Park field trip. I don't know if that'll be able to be made up or not. So we have that canceled. They are going to go see Willy Wonka 4th through 6th grade at the high school. And yeah, it's at the 20th. The second, November 2nd. 4th through 6th grade. 4th through 6th grade is going to go see Willy Wonka at the high school. To do that. I think the teachers are just getting used to still the 4-day. Just trying to get used to their schedule and get everything in and do all the fun stuff. But I go deeper into that in my next report. So we did their maps testing. You probably talked about that. We did do it already. Just maps testing is done. Digital testing is done. We have a few things that we need to finish needs testing.
Thank you. Clerk report.
I did not attach the budget versus actual, so I will do that. I'm like, there's no hyperlink. What happened? I didn't attach. Staff Christmas gifts, if we can, you guys can think and discuss and stuff, because if we want to use those Valley Bank points, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for those cards to come. And we were too late last year to take advantage of them. So we have some points there. We could probably, I think we can get maybe 15 gift cards through them. That would be great.
Okay.
So that is an idea. And I put in there for places that, at the time when I wrote this, those cards were available to those places. So I can't say that all those places will be available and be able to do it. And everything else seems to be going fine, and it's going way too fast already. I mean,
The days go super fast.
how days go so fast. Yeah. You'd think with the 4-day and the long day, but days just go by so fast.
They go so fast. So as far as using those points, because we do need to do it like King style, do we all just email you, tell you, like, what do we do? How do we do
Got
that?
it down here on the.
It's on the action items down the very
Oh,
bottom.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're gonna decide today.
so you guys can think about it until action items.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I will go attach that budget versus actual, so you can see where we're sitting and. Fine, I'll pull it up really quick.
Okay. Your turn.
Principal report. Yay. Okay. This is Becky's computer. That's good. Okay. So we got a couple new kids in kindergarten. So exciting. We're now up to 9. It's a very large class. We're very excited. It's been pretty interesting in kindergarten with those COVID babies. So there's, a lot of learning going on because they're kind of a new generation thing. Michelle is amazing with them. For student opportunities, goal 1, our fall map growth testing has been completed and teachers are using the data to guide instruction, identify gaps and target interventions. This year we're going to start pulling through the data and really starting to use it. That is an area of weakness for me. It was always I was a part of them. I never led them. So I'm still learning how to lead those data talks and discussions, just because it's been a part of doing it, not leading it. So I'm learning that this year. The school counselor will be teaching sexual harassment prevention and awareness lessons for grades 5 through 8. During this week, Lessons are designed to build respect, empathy, and communication. So what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what to do when you feel uncomfortable, that it's okay to tell an adult with the correct language, those types of things. We've done this in the past, and it's been really good just because kids kind of see a lot of things on the internet and movies and TV that aren't necessarily appropriate for school. So it's really grateful. It's really great lessons that Miss Lisa is doing. For the volunteer program, we had goodies with Guardians. It had a strong turnout, reinforcing our family school partnerships. The event highlighted opportunities to expand volunteer involvement moving forward. So, I was acted like a crazy person in a shark costume. And a lot of our staff kind of walked around and said hello and trying to get, parents in and say, this I'm your teacher, you haven't met me yet, those types of things. So it was really a really positive thing. It's always been a really good turnout. We have our upcoming harvest celebration on the best day ever, October 25th, to provide another avenue for parent and community engagement. This is going to be great because Katie is leading this harvest celebration because she is she leads student council, but she's also combining it with a title event to go over math. So there'll be the games and then another side that it's math activities for the parents, like fun games and kids in our math side, as well as our more carnival side. So it's kind of trying to get more academic stuff because it's a school event too. So we're pretty excited about that. When's that? It's gonna be the 25th of October at 2:00. And then afterward, there'll be a dance for middle schoolers.
Is that the Halloween carnival?
Yes.
So you just call it something. I was like, oh,
It's something different everywhere. It's Halloween, it's
Halloween,
carnival, it's harvest celebration, Halloween carnival.
with it.
We like to keep everyone on their toes with the names. Classified staff schedules continue to be monitored following the move to a 4-day school week. Our educators, and it says it's supposed to say one of the highest because we have so many staff with more years. It's supposed to say one of the highest. So in leadership continues to exploring additional hours and supports to ensure retention. There are some additional language going into the MCA that will allow for an additional position for paraeducators. That is a higher position. They can provide instruction to students underneath the special education umbrella, and they actually get paid $20 per credit hour. So it's about $800 free. They take the class for free, $800 additional dollars they can earn by watching trainings online. And then eventually they can get a level 2 paraeducator and actually have more input in the educational process of each student and take some stuff off the plate of the special ed teacher. So a couple of them have been informed about that. We're waiting for additional funding from the state that'll eventually pay for their next step after that to get an actual certification as a higher level 2 para, which is a big deal. So it's still in the works in the state, but hopefully that'll get more funding opportunities. Some schools are talking about if there's a level 2 para because they can technically do more, having another lane for those ones who have that certification. It's 4 credit, 4 classes from college plus 20 like little mini courses they have to take, but that's a big step. It's $1,400 to get to that second step. So we're waiting before I present that part to our parents because I don't want them to feel like they have to come up with that money. Hopefully we'll get a grant that the state's looking to put in for these people. Let's see.
Who's going to communicate that to them? You?
Yes, sorry. Board that votes on it. So as soon as I know more about if they're, I don't want to communicate that unless it's an avenue to pay, because it's like that's really unfair. Each teacher has been given the opportunity to select one day for a substitute will cover their class, allowing them a full work day to catch up on grading, prepare lessons, or work on special projects. This initiative supports teacher retention, reduces burnout, and acknowledges the importance of professional time. So we just do school business. It doesn't take away from any of their hours that they get as part of their contract. This is just something where Julia says, there's a day coming up and you're overloaded, let me know. I will get you a substitute to cover your class for the day so you can go and work at peace somewhere and not spend any of your personal time on it.
One day for the whole year.
Yeah, so I did 1 day for the year. I was thinking about maybe second semester but a lot of them are just that they just need one. So it's something I'm looking to hopefully bring back each year. So they can come to me and say, I really just need a day to catch up. And that's I want them to feel like they can be honest if they just need a day.
How did you come up with that?
I woke up from a dream where I did it.
It's unique,
Yeah.
thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Let's see. I also offered it to Miss Teresa, and she's very excited. Let's see. Student regulation supports are being utilized effectively when emotional or behavioral challenges arrive. So we are looking to that's very way vague. I'm sorry. So basically, we're working on this lovely person here got training on it's called
TBRI.
TBRI. I took it too. Why I forgot? I don't know. But she took TBRI. It's trust-based relational intervention, and it's for students that have trauma going on in their life or in the past. They helped teachers get a glimpse into what relationships need to be created before we take them to the step of accountability. The relationship has to be there before you can expect a student to be accountable. As far as you need to get the work done. You have to have the relationship to be able that's received well from the child before you can, if a child of trauma from a hard place.
Kind of like trauma-informed practices.
Yes, trauma-informed practices. Which our staff really wants more of. So we're looking into more of those things just because we were, school cultures and environments all over the country are receiving more of these kids that come from hard places. Ongoing teacher walkthroughs emphasize GSIR practices. So last year, I got permission and completed a year-long training on making evaluations more practical and usable for teachers. And so one of them was GSIR. So it's clarity, differentiation, engagement, and checking for understanding to provide feedback and strengthen instructional practices. So I do a walkthrough. My goal is to get to each teacher at least once a week. And I do a walkthrough and I take time-stamped notes. So there's no bias. It's just at 9:45, teacher said this, student did this. And then what I do is I put those in and create student, let's say differentiation is what we're evaluating. I can give you all the examples of how that teacher differentiated, why it was great, the impact it created, and then not only how to move up a step on the evaluation if you want to keep growing. If you're at the top, it'll also tell you how to stay at the top, like how to continue staying where you are at the top. Like if you got the highest score you can. My goal is to make, even though it makes our evaluations longer, it makes them usable for teachers. They can see what they did exactly I'm talking about. It's not my opinion. It's here is where the proof I can show you. You did these things and you did them well.
Like it. What does GSIR stand for, please?
Generalized. So the first, it's just how you set up the statement. So there's general, so a generalized statement. This teacher does this practice, and then
That's okay if you don't know. I
have fucking written down
an acronym.
Yes. Basically, it just means here's the generalized statement. Here is the support.
Specific, maybe. Or...
Yeah, support for that statement from these exact things. On 1025, we did this. Over 45. And
Susceptible, infected, removed.
not that. But
Sorry, no, it's
and then,
okay. We can
and
find
then
out later.
results. So it's really the goal is to. I went through my whole teaching career looking at a lot of my evaluations going, well, gee, thanks. So glad you came in for 20 minutes and saw my Cadillac lesson that I put together just for you. But it never helped me know how to become a better teacher because they saw me for 20 minutes a year and that was it. So my goal is to base all of this based on I saw you once a week all year long. And these are where I see how great you are. And these are where we can get better.
And quick follow-up question. This doesn't change the evaluation process according to the union contract, all that kind of stuff.
No. So if it's the exact rubric that was created.
Yeah.
And then this is just when I give you a score, this is how I prove that you got that
thing.
Instead of just saying, yeah, she's a great teacher, so I'm going to give her this because I feel like it. This is how it's
Gotcha.
set.
Generalization, specifics, impact, rating.
Thank you. That's what
And
it
you
is.
said once a week, are you doing this every class, once a week?
Every teacher, at least once a week, I go and I sit in their class for 10 minutes and take time-stamped notes about what they're doing. And then I save it and I put it in a generator that rates them according to what our evaluation system is. And then I build backup information for each teacher.
So there's
So-
like a program you put it into?
Yeah, that I've created, yeah. And so then, it turns, so Miss Knoll got hers, and I will say so myself, she said it's the best, most useful evaluation she's ever gotten as far as not her rating, but just it was made sense. She could understand where I got all the information from. So that's my goal. I love it.
Like she said, broad overview is generalization. Specifics are concrete factual examples. Impact is an analysis of specific examples and then a rating.
And then I added my own at the end where it's what you can do to get to the next highest rating or what you can do to stay at the highest rating, continue doing these things.
You took a little notes too.
Affirming, and recommending what they can do kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, I like that.
And then so I do the timestamp notes and then I email each teacher the timestamp notes. So it's not like, I think you did a great job. This is exactly what happened.
I saw in those 10 minutes.
Yeah, and the teachers like it. It's like, oh, I said that, or, oh, and then I'll do a note afterward about what I think they did really super good. So. Okay, so our update on our SPED listing. So we have had no bites on our SPED teacher listing. However, we did have 2 companies get a hold of us, and they're the recruiting for teacher position companies. They do have one that we're really interested in where it is a licensed Montana SPED teacher, but she lives on the other part of the state, and she'd be willing to take a good portion of all our IEPs and all the gathering work and getting all the information together and building the IEP and scheduling it and all of that stuff, which that big paperwork piece, which would then allow our teacher to actually step into a classroom more often than having stuck with our paperwork. So that's one option we're exploring. We're still trying to figure out exactly how.
It's like a
That would
remote
work.
position?
Yeah, where they do the paperwork side and the analysis side, calling the parents, getting the data from the teachers, all of that stuff. And then she can focus on being involved, just as much reviewing it, but go in and actually teach.
So sort of like a case manager kind of role.
Yeah.
Genius. Would they have to be Montana?
They have to have Montana certification, which it's both of them are Montana companies that I'm working with. So it sounds like it'll be a really good option until we can get a body. I've talked to Rebecca and she says, if I could get that off, I can be the body and that we
Yeah,
need.
that's what I was gonna say, because I feel like in the past, it's just the paperwork's over.
Yes, and so that's our biggest issue is we talked about getting a potential para, but that doesn't get my teacher who's trained for this with the kids, and that's what I really want.
That's my preference too.
Yes,
Would that be a part-time?
that would be
It
full-time.
would be a full-time.
It'd be and it's technically hourly.
Okay.
Because the contract company pays them hourly. They have to prove all of the hours that they work within a certain maximum minimum. So they couldn't work more than full-time, and they have to prove what they're doing with that company. And then the company sends us an invoice with all the hours worked and all of that. So they manage all of that. We just send them the money.
So it's not like our employee then.
No, so it's our employee as far as
Contract with that.
they sign a contract between us, like what our expectations are, all of those things. But then instead of paying for a full contracted teacher full-time, because doing paperwork is not going to be a
That's what I
full-time
was
position.
trying to get to, yeah.
It's hourly, and that company rides them to prove every hour that they make. So we're not going to just be charged.
But she said it was full, but it wouldn't need to be full-time.
It wouldn't need to be full-time. So it's full-time as far as like the maximum we would get charged would be full-time. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
yeah.
So, because each week their hours might vary based on how many IEPs we have.
Gotcha.
I
Yeah, ours-
meant-
yeah, we don't need, it should
Yeah,
not.
it shouldn't be, but yeah, so it'll be with the company, we'll set up, okay, this is the maximum amount of hours that we're willing to pay for this, and then before the contract happens, since it's kind of a business contract, it will be presented to the board for you guys to look at, to pick apart.
Yeah.
So it's a contracted service, basically.
Yeah. Lockwood School District uses them,
Who does? I'm sorry.
Lockwood School District, and
Eastern.
they do, for just the paperwork side, and it said it's their sped teachers' longevity has like gone way up because they actually get to be in the classroom with kids instead
They
of typing
love
on a
it.
computer. Yeah.
Will we know upfront, like, this is what it would cost to hire a body, and then this is the most that we will pay?
Yes.
Towards it?
Yep.
Because that's my question, is companies not just doing it for free, they're getting paid somehow?
Some of it's grant based. They have a grant that pays for part of their stuff. And I believe this is how much the teacher gets paid. We pay for the teacher and they take a slice of it and they pay the actual teacher a little bit less. So I think they take a cut of what we would pay the.
They inflate the wage a bit so they get a cut.
Yeah. Pretty much. So before I send it,
Sure, yeah.
I will send it to you guys to look and we'll do all the math and all of that stuff. But so far, it sounds like a really great option to get our teacher who became a teacher to teach back in the classroom. So she's
That
overall.
is the bane of every special ed teacher's existence, just paperwork.
Yes.
And it's got,
More and more intense.
Great. So our next is the Flathead Special Education Cooperative Assistance. We have a new director. His name is David Brown. And
It's
he
what?
is
David
David Brown.
I thought you were trying to come up with a really hard name to
David
say.
Brown.
Okay.
I have a bit of a girl crush on him as far as professionally. He is probably one of the most intelligent people I've ever met in my entire life. And he's extremely dedicated. Like it is everything we've wished, wanted, and prayed for. I was very honest with him and said there's not a lot of trust between the co-op and my teachers. There's just been a lot of kerfluffles in the last couple of years. And he said, absolutely, my job is to fix that. And so he is going to come in. He's already come in once for a day to look at our program. He's going to come in and meet with myself and our Rebecca next week to continue looking at our program to the point where he's willing to open every IEP we have and look at how to streamline it, make it better, help us build systems. He said, I am willing to come as many hours it takes to rip apart your program and build it back up the right way to help you with it. And he's willing to give training to all of our teachers on differentiation, sit and watch kids. I mean, I have a lot of hope. He seems amazing. So
We get them before other schools do?
yeah. Well, actually, I actually messaged him today and said, can you come in next week? He said, I will be there all day on the 21st. Like it's instant.
Way to get your foot in the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then staff survey. So as a part of we are underneath the title grant this year. It's a beast. One of them is that a staff survey was sent out. So it's basically a work happiness survey, satisfaction. How are things going? How could they be improved? How are they going better? I also just for the teachers, but I made one for the parents also. Just they felt like I wanted to hear from them also.
Mhm.
I've got about 50% involvement on both of those. So as soon as I get them, I will take off any information so you have no idea who wrote what, because that was my promise. And I will send it to you what our results were. So far, it's overly positive. A lot of it is on how to make SPED better. A lot of it is, still trying to figure out if 4 days good for me or not, and those types of things. But overall, it's overwhelming. I didn't cry when I read it, so that was good. So expand and improve positive staff culture. I started something for myself called Joyful Fridays, and I actually realized I put it twice. But I am dressing up. I found out that the fourth day of school in a 4-day school week tends to be the first year it's fine, second year it's fine, the third year attendance can start to drop off a little bit on that fourth day because they want a 5-day weekend or 4-day weekend. And so I've been looking up ways to try to prevent that. So one of them that seems to be very big with the little kids is I dress up every Friday with a quirky saying and greet all of the children in costume every Friday. And the kids really, really like it to the point where I've actually had parents offer to come and dress up also. And now they want to start being a part of dressing up. I've asked the county soup, some people at BP, and then also some other admins to come and be a part of it too, and kind of just make everyone excited.
The corn
Yes.
one was great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So it's been really, really fun. And it seems, I love when the eighth graders roll their eyes at me. It means I've done well. So we had a great staff versus eighth grade volleyball game. If I do say so myself, third year in a row, we beat the eighth graders. It was fantastic. It's always just boosts morale, and all the teachers get to play and be kids again. And it's probably the best part of my year, I'm not gonna lie. For improving existing facilities, parents have informed about the upcoming lessons like sexual harassment and other community events. And I'm trying to make sure we're very consistent on social media updates this year, and just more consistent overall. I have started a very, very thorough schedule of every single day. Not saying I get to everything I'm supposed to do every day, but a lot of it is walk through. Okay, now you're going to go teacher support, open door, get up, go walk around, visibility lab. It's about every 15 minutes or something else I'm supposed to be doing. So it seems to be going well. I have a lot of steps, but.
Yes, do you just see like a blurb, like back and forth? Teresa's like, do you know where the little one went? No. You need a tracker or a beeper or something.
She told me she was gonna put, was it
an air tag on
An
it?
air tag.
There you go.
They're like, nice hearing, it's hair tag.
Shows that she's. No, it'll show she's walking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Miss Becky?
All right, Vice Principal report. This month I attended TBRI, the Trust-Based Relational Intervention Training, which was funded through a grant from the Nate Schnupp Foundation. They actually called me. We came to school on Tuesday. She called and said, I just found out I have grant money. Can you come tomorrow for this training? It's tomorrow, half day on Wednesday, and it'd be full day on Friday. So I walked in the office to see, and there was Brittany standing there. I'm like, what are you gonna sub? She's like, oh, sure, I can. So that worked out great. It's like every time I need a sub this year, Brittany's there. Perfect. It was fantastic. Got a lot of information, and then came back, and we had our first Monday meeting last week. We did a training for the staff on that. Went over everything that I kind of learned in a nutshell, and had some good talks there. So that was good. I've continued to support Julia in any way needed while also maintaining a full teaching lift. Beginning of the school year has been very successful overall, and students appear to be happy and engaged and liking the 4-day. Staff members have adjusted well to the 4-day week. A few have expressed concerns. I recommend maybe pairing these teachers with staff from another 4-day school week so we could see who wants help and talking to them and get those together so that they can be emailing and exchanging ideas, or maybe even taking time to go meet and watch and observe the classes. They can exchange and compare schedules and receive peer support as they adjust to their new structure.
I think that's what is the main concern, like that you hear.
Getting everything in.
Okay, that's kind of, I have to anticipate
Yeah.
that.
That was it.
It's like a 5-day like curriculum and.
Yeah, they're trying to
stick it in.
do everything they did last year still and do it this year,
Mhm.
and realizing that maybe that's not gonna work.
Mm.
And
Are the class ranges, is it scattered or is it sort of older kids or younger kids? Middle?
I think the younger ones are doing better now. They're kind of on the right path. I think it's like math, just can we get all the math in? Can we do this? Because a lot of it is the curriculum is
And
built
with the
for
newer curriculum.
Yeah.
Right.
as many days, and how can we do it? But super kids, my friend in Haver, actually the one who brought it to my attention to bring to them. So we've had some Brenda, whenever she's like, I need you to text your friend. Okay. She's like, ask her how they do this, because their Haver's also a 4-day school week. So it kind of works that way. So Trish is trying to find a second grade teacher for Brenda to be able to email and talk to.
So what
I
about
know
only
Brandon sounds well, she's figuring it out too. She's not an expert.
Yeah.
But
just mainly like how to get it all into 4-day and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that would be hard.
the principal, the from Only Thistle, yeah.
Mhm.
He had said that too,
Yeah.
to reach out and maybe have
Reach out to
a
him, yeah.
peer person to help.
And they also do, Cayuse is Deer Park, one of them,
Yeah.
Cayuse has
It's 4-day.
4-day, so.
And as with 4-day, this is almost always what happens. Speaking from my own, going from a 5-day to a 4-day, the first year is full of panic. Like, how am I gonna, and then you get to the end, you're like, oh, well, that is possible.
Yeah.
We did okay. A big deal is, a lot of our curriculums are 5 days, but 1 day is review and teaching, that you can
Review or extension.
review and extend late, like it doesn't have to be
One whole day.
one whole day. That's.
And reminding
has
like
changed.
K through 5, that our social studies and our science is really only built for half of a year.
Right.
So if you're trying to do a full period of social studies in kindergarten through 5th grade, you don't need that. You're gonna have
A couple days a week.
yeah, you're not gonna have enough material to get through all of it. So once I finally convinced a few teachers, you don't need to do social studies every day.
Well, and
You
super
know.
kids, now that I'm becoming more familiar with super kids, they want you to do 90 minutes a day minimum,
Yes.
5 days a week.
So
So you
we,
try to figure out what can you not do.
and how I've addressed a lot of that is, kindergarten through 2nd grade has decided that for the next year or two, we're gonna gather information, like more like a study to see if the teachers really start, what is that called? When you put standards in other subjects, what's that called?
Cross-curricular.
Yeah, do a lot of cross-curricular things to where your whole day is math and reading. And then they weave in social studies, weave in tech, weave in
That's what I would
music.
do.
That way, you are spending 3 hours on reading and 3 hours on mathematics. But
all that.
you still get reading about social studies, reading about science, doing math about these projects. And since they've kind of switched that, I think a lot of pressure valve has been released in K2. They're like, oh, it doesn't have to be separate. It can be.
You're not.
put in. Which
So
that's.
I wonder if, like, as schools maybe see value in a 4-day, if curriculum will come with like 4
I
days
think so.
instead of 5 days, you know what I mean?
When you talk
Or
to
even
people.
give the option, because is everybody gonna do it? Probably not. But where I used to live, they did year-round school. So you went for 6 weeks, you had 2 weeks off, you went for 6 weeks, you had 2 weeks off. So their curriculum started to go towards that.
Yeah.
You had like little pods. This pod was this section. So I'm curious if we'll start to see a change in how the curriculum's presented.
And a lot of teachers are happy because it's actually teaching back how it used to be a little bit more. And once the standards happened, teachers were taught, this is the curriculum for math, this is the curriculum for A, B, C, and they don't like, they're oil and water, they don't go together. And so then you've got curriculums that are built for 90 minutes for each subject. We got 6 of them. How are you supposed to do that?
Yeah.
And so newer teachers especially struggle because they're like, they were never taught to really put them together. But people like Brenda in the middle school, they're like, this is where we started. We started with everything mixed together. And so it seems like, especially with our newer teacher to our school, she's like, oh, I can breathe and just take my time with these certain things and put them in as needed, which seems to be going really well.
It all comes back to the 3 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
those are the most important.
Yeah.
Everything else we did.
What's the third or?
The 3 hours.
Yeah.
Arithmetic.
No,
Arithmetic.
Or the second one.
Right.
That's the AWA. RWA.
This is some hour sounds, I guess. You just were. There's a phonics here for 3 hours. 3 hours. So we think about that. I know, it's weird.
So yeah, it's been a busy start of the school year. The days go by so fast.
Have either of you had any feedback from the parents on the 4-day?
I've heard nothing but great things. They really love it. I've had probably 5 parents say like they were really excited and they've seen their kids. Their kids are more well rested. They have more time at home with their children. And they're just like, it's great because Saturday is running around for sports. Sunday is Sunday. And now Monday is, I have a day to get all caught up and it just spreads it out. So overall, our families are really loving it. Our teachers' personal lives are absolutely loving it. We just have to get them more secure with the academic.
How the day goes.
At first, like our littles were pretty tired. We were going on sure later, but I think it's getting better.
Stamina.
And
Because
that's, yeah.
remember when kindergarten used to be like
Half day,
12:30.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Now we're like, you have a full-time job.
and our kindergarten teacher has expressed it's a little harder with kindergartners that 3
Especially
days
the new ones,
keeping
yeah.
procedures is really hard with that
Did she
group.
institute nap time?
Anyway, I did say that was a possibility.
Yeah.
But she is, she wants to share so much that,
Oh, I know.
so, they are struggling a little bit, but it's a big step from school to homeschool. So
I share a wall and I don't hear any like screaming or like, oh, you're not doing, no. I share a wall, I hear lots of songs and singing and clapping and participation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, action items, consideration of closing Flex Fund 29 due to inactivity.
So we have $25.03 in the Flex Fund. Flex Fund, the fund we no longer use or get new money for. This is just years of accrued interest. And when I do my TFS at the end of the year, this year it finally says, would you consider closing this account? Or you should consider closing this account. I'm like, we get like 30 cents a year. We're really breaking in the money.
I moved to close Flex Fund 29 due to inactivity.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, consideration of approving the 25-26 parent-student handbook. That's a big handbook.
it is, I worked so hard on it. I put it through like 12 things too, to be like, how do I make this easier to use, user friendly?
Did you see a bunch of my comments in it?
All hyperlinks to
I know
minutes.
that was up to like noon today.
Okay.
Pages is it?
It is 53,
I would say 50 some pages.
53 pages.
Do we have to?
Have to reference it.
You have to sign.
Refer to it.
So
Find something.
and Sherry, I'm not gonna answer, I mean, obviously she can answer it, but if the school doesn't open till 8 and the kids are dropped off at some, because the breakfast too.
But it doesn't say anything in our entire handbook that I could find. Breakfast.
About it.
The only reason I could put it in there about breakfast is
Or lunch.
because,
Nothing about
I mean, I can definitely put it in there. I haven't put it in there just because our free breakfast thing can change every year. So I can put it in there. I just didn't even think about
Or
it.
it doesn't even say lunch, it just says, the only thing I saw about food was the free and reduced program, which we don't need for. So I didn't know if we needed to have that whole policy in there.
We have to have it because technically we do have free and reduced, it's just homeschool.
Yeah, we do.
So that's why it's all breakfast and lunch is free through the free and reduced
But the
program.
way it was worded made it sound like they would still have to each apply or something.
They should still apply
They
for it
should.
every year. Everybody should still apply for it every year.
Gotcha.
That secures
That
our
helps get your
CEP.
numbers.
Mhm.
Okay, I just was curious, like, could it just even say that they either need to go to the playground or to breakfast?
Yes,
Or something,
do
you
that.
know what I mean, just something. I know a lot of this is nitpicky, but I want it to, you worked really hard, but I want it to just look really polished and, you know what I mean, like cleaned up and not be missing something. And I was just like, wait, there's nothing in there about
I
that.
apologize because I'm in the boat with Rob. That's
It's okay.
to open. I am so sorry.
What's up?
I never clicked this one to even open it and read it.
And you can ignore those
Rest
comments,
deals
they were
and-
just things.
No,
that-
Oh, the
I
handbook,
never even read it.
I got
I'm
about,
scanning it now, but I apologize.
yeah, I got about halfway through.
And a lot of the
Just to be
formatting
honest.
stuff, is that just because it's a doc, like a Google
When
Doc?
you print it, it's good.
That was my question too. My mom took Tylenol with the user.
But when you print it, it looks great.
Okay.
It looks,
That's,
yeah.
okay. So like where it's like indented in some weird
Yeah.
places and stuff.
Okay.
Then I even put in my comment, this could just be a Google Docs thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't see it, but if you're gonna open and see like, you can do, there's like breaks and lines that break it so it doesn't stop in a weird place on a page and.
But there's like one place where it's got a strike through, but it's not actually taken out, like stuff like that, you know, just like that I pointed out. There's
Yeah,
just the one
ugly.
thing. Was under
No comment. Yeah.
the bus riders thing. Yeah.
Capital S for school.
What was it?
Yeah, I still have nightmares about it.
Control F and then replace them.
Oh, yeah.
Like 500 movies.
Mhm. Well,
Well,
then just some things are page breaks are in weird spots because of probably Google Docs.
we're living, breathing document, and if something needs changed, we'll change it.
And I did find a bunch of things that are supposed to be in there that haven't been in there that are title papers, like that you're supposed to have in there every year and update every year, like our annual parent notice right to request teacher
That you put at
qualifications
the end.
that I put at the end there. I know it's kind of an awkward way to put it in, but right now, if you look, school parent family engagement plan at the very end is blank, and that's, we haven't finished it yet. So
Okay.
once that is finished,
I had a question about this. Is there something missing?
yes. One thing that I will most likely put in there,
You wanted to go with the school sponsored thing?
right, so you guys asked me to do a school sponsored definition, so Shannon and I put it
I saw
in
that.
here.
Oh, what page is that on?
The beginning, absences.
Yes, by absences, so it's going to be. Oh,
Somewhere in the page 6, 7 range.
Oh, there. Yeah, it means page 7.
stop it, shoddy.
Okay.
My friend goes.
Okay, a school sponsored activity is defined as any event, program, or function that is initiated, authorized, supported, or supervised by the school district. This includes, but not limited to, curricular and extracurricular activities, athletic programs, field trips, clubs, performances, and other events which students participate under the direction of school personnel or while representing the school. School-sponsored activities may occur on or off district property and during or outside of regular instructional hours.
That's clear. Yeah.
One thing in my update in here is I'm trying to get conversations with West Valley football since they are our other boys sport. They actually do athletic eligibility.
Yeah.
And we don't for our Marion owned sports, but we have a lot of kids that leave a whole almost hour early every day to play sports at West Valley, and they're, which we said was acceptable. They're, because it's a school sponsored activity, but they need to make sure they're making up work if they, because a lot of them wanted to take a last period class so that when football was over, they could continue taking that class. They didn't want to take a study hall. So I said, that's fine, but your work, and I let parents know, you need to keep up on your work, even if you're missing the last hour of class, and they're not doing, it makes it really hard for them. And so either doing a forced study hall or having, and West Valley wants, they were gonna sit down and talk about how that works, since technically it's their sport. But our eligibility requirements for sports are different, so we don't know how that's supposed to work.
Okay, and I don't know who's in charge of that now.
Yeah.
But back when I was in their shoes, they let us determine our eligibility. The way we did it at the time, it was academic, but I would just call and report to them or email them once a week, like, all the kids are eligible, or this one is not eligible, and they would just take my word for it. So I kind of feel like that would be more fair than basing it off of their,
Yeah.
they have a different policy than that they're under.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know.
doing
You guys.
academic.
Right.
So ours is kind of, we need to figure out, because ours is behavioral, theirs is academic, and so we need to figure out how.
Two things, behavioral, or attendance.
Attendance and behavior, yes.
Yeah.
So that might be put into it, so then I can figure out what it's gonna be.
And usually, if they're behaving and they're attending, their academics are usually.
Yeah.
Really solid, but you don't have to get real nitpicky and do the
Yeah,
grade checks constantly and stuff. So did a handbook go out at the beginning of the year, or is this it?
this is it.
Okay. I noticed some dates on when they need to sign this for September. That's my
Yeah.
draft. So maybe those could be changed. Can I put a comment on that? But I noticed it as I was gonna. Oh, yeah. Let's backdate this to September 10th. Okay. I was right at the end, right? The very last. This page must be signed and returned to the school by Friday, September 26th.
You guys are already late, here you go. Detention.
Yeah.
Okay, if there are any more questions about that, no, we need a motion.
since I didn't.
Yeah, I'm waiting on somebody that read it more than me.
I did not read the whole thing, so I don't.
Yes. But I don't know if I feel like I can prove it, it's not.
But our school-wide plan will not be done for a month to 2 months because we're getting guidance on it. So,
Could it say pending or? I don't even know, or take it out.
yeah,
I just, you know.
So I move to approve the 25-26 parent student handbook. And leave the, what page is it or what group?
the school-wide plan.
The school-wide plan to the discretion of the administrator.
Yeah.
You guys comfortable with that? Just be reasonable.
Rob has to come in person to every event.
Well, not even some
Or-
school-wide plan could be an addendum that we could add to it.
With that to be added later.
We have like an appendix A, appendix B, whatever, that could be one of them.
Make my words good, Shannon. ChatGPT.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
I-
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Consideration of hiring Jay Lapke as English language tutor.
So this beautiful, wonderful human was one of our students when I first started. She is almost 17 years old. She is a native Russian speaker and she teaches Russian school to Russian children. She is a homeschool friend right now. We have a current student in kindergarten that speaks primarily Russian. And because of that language barrier, it makes it very difficult to, he needs to learn basic like Apple and things like that we eventually can build on so that he can learn in regular classes. So right now we have an app that he uses that he can push and speak into Russian and it comes out English, and then the teacher can push the other button and speak in English and it comes out in Russian if he has to ask for something or ask a question. So that's been really helpful, but we really want to, as part of our English language learner, we really want to give him some actual instruction. So as of right now, Julia is her name, has been coming in and just reading books with him and talking about him in Russian and teaching him these words, and it's going really well. But she actually has come in twice a week for free over the last couple of weeks. And I would love to hire her to come in to work with this student because it is one of our required services through Title because he's an English language learner. Because she really is the only one we have that's so fluent in Russian that she can really be of service. And we'll be planning things that she's doing. Right now, it's just been reading stories with them and talking about them in English. And once she is hired, it'll be given projects or lessons and things to do with them, but I didn't want to give them to a volunteer. Like it was a little unfair. So, but I would love to pay her for her time. She's coming in twice a week for an hour each
I
time.
know who she is, I can picture.
Budget.
It's probably coming out of title,
It'd be coming out of Title.
So we can
and
do
they're
it.
still working on the title grant, so.
SIBO.
Is there any concern with hiring a teenager?
No, so we've contacted a whole bunch of different people, all sorts of acronyms of people were contacted. I even called the English language learner department at OPI and they said, this is the best idea. They said, because they're local, they'll.
So she doesn't have to be a teacher.
She doesn't have to be a teacher, no.
She's speaking to a tutor.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to be a para and be highly qualified.
Background checker, she said, right?
Yes, so we will background check her. Right now, it hasn't been an issue because she's not alone with him. She's always in the library where Lisa is or something. But we would obviously like
Yes.
that child eventually to be background checked.
Is the
But
goal for her to be like do one-on-one tutoring or
Mhm.
to help incorporate the child into the class?
so right now it's one-on-one, just maybe eventually we can incorporate in the classroom. Right now it's one-on-one just because the level of language use is so primary that the child has difficulty functioning in the classroom. You know, they're wonderfully well behaved and sweet, but we want that kid getting something out of what they're learning. But we need to step out and go, okay, this sit, stand, these are what these words mean, flashcards, games, those types of things outside, and create a relationship with this person. And then eventually, once that primary language builds up, then you start incorporating it more in the classroom. So the teacher's doing that, her side of it. This is just for him. This is a special thing for him. And that way we're not pulling siblings. And then eventually this person can sit with him during testing, like MAPS testing, not state testing, but MAPS testing, and help read the questions to him. And those
So they have this student has siblings that are okay with English, like they're.
yes, very much
How
so.
did they learn without having a tutor? Was it just immersion?
Mostly immersion.
Okay.
So I actually interviewed a couple of the siblings and asked, like, what worked for you? What didn't you like? And I had one student that said it was really hard. They learned just by being there. And they said it was really hard at first because she felt like she didn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
And she said academically, eventually it came, but she just wanted someone to talk to. And so that's why we did that app. This will just, you know, and it really helps that this child is a Panther and has been in the school and knows all the teachers and is comfortable to go and talk to teachers about, oh, he's feeling this way or whatever, until he can get, you know, and it's fun for him with a big old cute little smile.
What are you looking to do as far as hours and wage and?
Most likely, I would just be 2 hours a week
Okay.
or an hour a week, depending on, she's working, she has 2 jobs, also. But what did we talk, what did you talk about sub wage?
Probably like a classroom.
Like
evening,
a classroom eve,
which is sub wage.
14, like everybody else kind of starts
So she's 16, so she homeschools too?
and teaches Russian and works. She's kind of that superstar. She's a superstar when she was
Motivated.
Okay.
and she gets really excited. I'm expecting her to become a teacher someday because
Grooming her to be a
Yes.
teacher.
and she came in and she goes, "Oh, you should have seen him. We got elephant. And he said elephant one time and he was like, that's an elephant." And she, you know, elephant. She goes, I taught him something. And I was like, gotcha. You're stuck now.
Yeah.
So it was,
Social sees the same.
yeah. But it's been amazing. She loves it. He loves it. And, you know, I think just getting to speak to someone when all day you haven't been able to really clearly communicate, it's a big relief.
To hire Jay Lappick as English language tutor.
I will second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay.
One thing with him though is if you try to learn Russian and you speak it to him, he will say,
Just don't do it.
no. No.
That's
Like,
the question.
I tried.
How many siblings do you have?
Yes, they're fun. Yeah.
Wait.
That's another one. So do you guys speak Russian at home?
Yes,
Strictly?
it's exclusively Russian. But we do homework, now mix and match and English, Russian combination.
Do your other kids speak English?
Maybe outside, but we try to keep it the same because it's so easy to lose.
Yes, sure.
It's just so easy.
That's what's so excited there, Dave. That I had an entire one-word conversation with, was it Mark?
Mark,
Mark. Like 5 words back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tessa, she said good morning to him or something in Russian.
Yeah.
So her little lesson, he looked at her and went, no Russian.
She figured,
what's up with that?
Oh, so,
no, she figured it out.
Say it correct.
Another sibling corrected her.
yeah.
It's a long story, but there wasn't.
All I have is yeah.
That's all I get. Very good, very good. Okay, second reading of policy 8100.
Throughout our board policy, Julia is administrator, so we try to remember.
Right.
I know at the last meeting, we're like, which one is it? It's
Yeah.
administrator.
So we need to.
So in line 38, I crossed off superintendent and left building administrator.
Okay.
Remember this kind of.
Yeah, still looks.
To me,
I'll make a motion to accept the second reading of the policy 8100.
a second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Policy updates recommended by policy committee.
Whoa. Didn't take time to read this because I was looking at the handbook.
So
There was a bunch.
just really quick, Sherry and Rob at the last meeting, you guys had offered to help.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do this and it didn't happen.
Anyway.
But Shannon wasn't feeling good that night, so she told me later, just a heads up, they can't help you.
That because it's a committee.
Litigate the committee, like it's,
Oh.
so don't think I didn't want your help, because I did. But I didn't want you to think like, oh, I didn't, she asked. It was great, yeah, it went a lot quicker than I thought.
Because I wasn't there.
Me too. So the document that I attached is just the minutes that accept is written, do not add the additional language. 8301, we're tabling because the optional language doesn't have an end of optional language anywhere. So I need to get clarification from
But
MTSBA.
we did need to talk about the door lock thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I feel you're not supposed to finish this stuff.
So, yeah.
She knows what the.
8301, it talks about installing, the plan will include installation of temporary door lock devices that may be used to secure a door to a room that may be used during a shelter in place or emergency lockdown situation. So the optional language includes the device, what it means, all it's you click on the link, you just click on 8301 and see what that language is.
So Becky's gonna give us like what those actually would cost and what that entails. And it can only go on certain doors.
Right.
It can't go on all the doors.
Aren't there hacks for chairs and stuff? You put them under.
That's where it
Are
fits.
1566
Open that
at
way.
Walmart,
If they open in.
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
open in.
No, if they open out, you can put the chair on it, because then they can't pull the chair.
You also can get bolts that go on the bottom of every door. But our fire marshal, so fire marshals do not like anything that cannot be accessed quickly and easily without a special tool on every door. But our alert training people, which are the unlock fight training, said, when's the last time you had a fire in a building? In a school building, and then of course Cascade caught on fire, which is hilarious. But when's the last time you had a problem compared to like a run lock fight situation? And so they said you kind of have to pick the battles.
And then it's good, fix up there.
You see that?
Yeah.
It goes up against an indoor opening handle. So like if this was opening
Oh, I see.
inside, it goes here and the bottom, and it's basically a
Like $20 piece.
But those are the ones, the doors open in.
in
So
And
all the
every-
classroom doors open out.
out.
Like ours open in over there.
So for open outdoors, a lot of times they'll just put, it's a bolt that goes in the bottom.
But it doesn't
Just drop
stay and it goes around the handle.
Yeah.
Even said at that training, they had a ratchet strap.
Yeah.
The ratchet strap was bolted to the wall or whatever. Yeah.
But the edge of it,
Ratchet was strapped to hold it shut. So anyway, that's that policy. And then there's one that we need to, or we could accept Kyla's language. That was,
5120.
thank you, 5120. It's about the background checks and fingerprinting.
Because it said Shannon's supposed to.
Because everything, it all says that we do it in-house and we do not. The county department does that for us. So Kyla already had theirs redone, stating that the county does it. And so I attached that.
If someone here saw some training as far as accepting.
I do the training, yep.
And you guys will.
Yep. The first training, yep.
and the county is working on getting the fingerprint scanners.
Yeah.
That take a day to come back, but there's
That's
actually a
different.
waiting list. And Whitefish and one other one actually purchased that for their own school district.
Oh.
But it's,
But they hire people a lot, like.
yeah,
Super.
it's like
Yeah.
crazy expensive, so. And the county is about 4 weeks out now because of this new law, because all these new people are coming.
Is there anything else that was special?
Me, oh wait. Policy goes.
Just the flags, like you can only have a certain flags of the school. So
Which you
anyone.
have any changes to it, so when it says accept as written, it should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
Okay, instead of word.
That brand, it's a brand new policy, the very last one, 85, 60.
So in reference to when like when I was talking to the classified about, like they have somebody that takes information back to them, that's what I was referencing
Yeah.
because there's things in here, because she's a teacher, she's like, okay, I need to make sure everybody knows this type of thing.
Mhm.
So,
They can only have these flags and
Yeah.
the other flags.
Certain flags and banners, there's a list.
Yeah, and house flags fall underneath school colors, because it's a school initiative.
So are these flags in hallways,
Any
classrooms?
flag, any
outside?
flags, property, there's a certain ones you can have. And you cannot hang anything else.
So yeah, like, no political, no,
Spread on me type. thing.
yeah, nothing that would make somebody feel uneasy type thing.
So basically, you can have the United States flag, the Montana state flag, any flag of a school district, public university, community college, any official flag of any state of the United States, any official flag of federally recognized tribal nation, foreign nation, branches and units of the military, any historical flags of the United States or of Montana the POWMIA flag, flags representing school colors, mascots, that kind of thing, and law enforcement flags. Those are the flags you can have, nothing else.
So you can't have like chiefs.
Real quick, they agreed last year, and we were talking about getting what do they call it? The first responder flag. That wouldn't be on that, would it?
Official law enforcement flags,
I don't know if that's official though.
including but
That's
not limited to
actually-
flags honoring law enforcement officers and fallen officers. Something different.
Because that runs up against. What's it
Let's
called,
see, federally
desecration, when you're changing. I
I
don't, I like the idea, but in principle, it's like traditional American flag.
Yeah.
Teresa was going to do that for me.
Yeah, thin blue line and then
Yeah,
None of that, yeah.
stuff, yeah, that actually
that's not something you notice trends in that direction. I would try to get more guidance, like from the American Legion or whoever would be good on like
I
flag.
love
On your flag.
I do
feel
too.
here to say tribal flags.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah, tribal flags too.
So we just spent a lot of money on tribal flags.
Okay.
And other nations too, so like if you're saving another nation.
The eighth graders are looking at getting like thin blue line, or it has different, like all the colors of the flag, or those lines are changed. To be, firefighters and police and stuff, and it,
blue, red,
yeah.
yellow, green, and such.
Problem is you're changed the American flag.
Yeah.
So it's-
I see, okay.
So first of all, good job, policy committee.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you for taking
And
it.
thanks for the nice minutes with the links and the recommendations. That's excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, this makes it,
I trust you guys.
like, we all had questions about a lot of the stuff, but it just,
Yeah, well, that's
so I'm
great.
like, wow, we accepted.
That looked overwhelming when I saw that list.
Yeah.
And when I realized we didn't have to
It
read
was,
every
yeah.
word, you guys have done it.
Okay, so if we need a motion,
I will
What are
make
we
a
motion
motion
to do exactly?
to
just update all of the from the
policy
policies.
updates recommended.
Oh,
by
that's-
policy.
okay.
I'll make a motion to update the recommended policies by policy committee.
I'll second that.
And what about the locks? That's the only one that's.
That one we're
linked, right?
tabling, right?
And
Yeah.
it says.
It says that on there.
I'm sorry.
Optional language, yeah. But you have to put that in my.
No, it's already in there.
It's part of the recommendation.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Can Cammy make the motion since she is the committee?
I don't see why not.
Just asking.
Because we all vote on it.
Okay, just asking.
Just.
Good question, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought like her and I should be the ones because we were on the committee, but.
Because you're recommending to the rest of the board for them to approve it.
I don't think it matters really which one of us does.
Okay, all those in favor?
I
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Consideration of approving policy to 2100 lesson plans.
So one of the new policies that they had in there required that I submit lesson ideas to you for each of the commemorative holidays and occasions. And so I created something fairly loose because I want teachers to be able to kind of do their own thing. I did skip, you will notice that I did not put Columbus Day in there, and that was under guidance from Sam, the school administrators of Montana, gave us guidance to not do that yet because it actually falls on the same day as like a Native American heritage same day. And they said there already is some legal kerfluffles going on over that one. So they said just pause on Columbus Day and don't put anything in yet because you probably just have to rip it out and not do it anyway. So.
Even though it's the way it was.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll move to as worded. Approve the policy 100 lesson plan.
Okay, that,
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Consideration of residential program.
So the residential program is put on by Western. They are a teacher residency program and it offers a lot of advantages for teacher candidates, kids who are in school to become teachers. So how it works is the school, like ours, signs up to be involved. And for 1 year, a full year, a student teacher will come into our building and be assigned to current teachers, for example, Ms. Shirati. What the benefit of that is we get new people in. Teachers always do better when there's a young, impressionable teacher in the building. It kind of rejuvenates. Plus, we have opportunities to hire them potentially once they are finished. They are there for a whole year. There are some things with their program. 80% is spent in the classroom with the teacher. 20% is spent. They have time built into their schedule to work on their classwork. The best thing for this student is they get $1,400 a month before taxes paid by the university into the student's pocket. So they get paid every month for the whole year that they're here. They also get financial support through a tuition waiver on their tuition if they complete that 1 year program. And then the other one is, this is what we're voting on if we want to be a part of it, is a housing assistance from the same school district. So this can vary from school district to school district. They said normally it's between either a house that they have for the kids to live in or $100 to $500 a month that they pay that student teacher to be in their building. She said, it's $100 a month that they give this teacher or this new student teacher for their housing stipend, up to $500 depending on what the school board chooses to pay. The benefit to this is actually if Shirati was the teacher that the student teacher is assigned to, she gets $6,000 for being a part of it. So we have Cayuse, there's Kalispell is taking advantage of it, and they basically put our school name on a map and a student can pick, I want to go there. And then they call us and we get our student teacher. I've been trying since I started to get a student teacher out here. We're kind of at a disadvantage housing wise, and also, but this makes us more appealing. They get paid and we don't have to pay them $1,400 a month. We just have to pay them a housing stipend for.
So who gets paid $6,000?
The teacher that is in charge of the student teacher. They get $6,000.
Whoever's sponsoring teacher, basically.
So we pay them, we give them a housing stipend. So here's a check per month to help you pay for wherever you want to use it.
Yeah, and your whole monthly stipend from the university is going to go
Yeah.
to your rent.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're still.
So,
Yeah.
she says it's anywhere from this, normally schools just pick anywhere from 100 to 500. It's at no cost to the school other than that. Everything else
Do
is.
you know what the other schools are that are doing it okay?
She said the most she's seen is about 500. And that's for, like, really high expense areas like Bozeman. in
What about here?
Kalispell.
What about here locally?
That's kind of, she said she would suggest like 300 to 500 somewhere in that area, just because living here is so expensive.
But you don't know what like Cayuse or Kalispell pays them?
I don't know what Cayuse pays them, I don't. I'm not sure, I spelling asked that. Kalispell.
Are you including June, like all of June? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, she said it just depends on what the school wants. So, but most likely it would be June because we go
Just
into
doing quick math. Okay.
and they have to be a part of every single day that a teacher has to be here. So pre-service, all the PIR days, if those teachers have to stay after school for an event, they have to follow it. And there's like certain rules as far as, she can sub for the teacher this many times, but no
Right.
more than that, those types of things.
Do they ever take over the classroom completely like in the traditional student?
Yes,
They do.
but the teacher has to maintain contact with their, it can't be like it was when I was in school where like for the last like 6 weeks of it, my
They just walk
operating
away.
teacher was drinking Mai Tais down the street.
Yeah.
They actually have to be involved in that thing. So they have certain rules on how much the teacher takes over, but it's another adult in a classroom with the teacher.
Or potentially maybe that teacher could be doing other things. with
Yes.
School, like taking on other responsibilities, that kind of thing. Interesting. I like that, reading through here, I like that they have to teach in month, like as sort of like payback.
Yep.
3 out of the next 5 years when they complete their residency in Montana schools. So that kind of bodes well for retention if one
Yes.
is good and you want to.
The whole goal of this was to make rural positions for student teaching viable for people. Because a lot of kids want to go teach in a rural school and want to experience what it's like, but trying to when I was in my student teaching, if they found out you were working during student teaching, they would kick you from the program.
Yeah.
So I had to work under the table. I had a daughter.
And we had to pay tuition.
And we had to
We
pay
had to
tuition.
pay, we had to pay.
So this is, they pay tuition, they pay the student. Yes, we would be paying a certain amount of money, only if that we get someone placed here. But they said, I believe, don't quote me if when I was at the meeting, like 75 to 80% of the residents get hired in the district that they were student teaching in, because they already have a whole year. They've got those people in one space.
And we have lots of people that could rent them a room, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna go there.
There you go.
They can learn a second language. What an opportunity. Well, and even since university.
Another word of English here.
Better pick it up fast.
Working outside of the.
So what's the money again that we contribute?
So that's just, every district has to agree to pay housing or some sort of housing stipend. And
So
it's
if
just
we paid 500,
pre-listed.
we're talking $5,000 because it'll be 10.
Yes,
And that's if somebody chooses to come here.
yes,
So there's no guarantee that someone does want.
no. The best part about that is that, you only have to pay it when you get a body.
Yeah.
But also, you can't hire another person to come in for that amount, and you have an additional adult in the body or in the building.
In the
Thank you.
building.
Where are they coming from?
Actually, it's not just there's actually 4 participating colleges now. And
This is UM Western and Dillon.
yes,
That's the-
UM Western is leading the program, but they've got MSU Great Falls, MSU Havre, I believe, Northern. Bozeman's still not in it yet. I know that Miles City College is looking at being a part of it. All these colleges are trying to jump on board because it's really helpful for their students to spread out. So essentially, if I was a candidate and I wanted to be a part of this, they would show me a map and say, where do you want to go? And then they would click and see Marion and say, this is the housing stipend Marion's willing to pay you.
So essentially the higher the housing stipend.
So why don't we do the 500?
Well, we can. I didn't want to put,
I mean, we
I think
need,
we would have to
I
because
think
again, we are far
Yeah.
out.
and she said, you can do as much as you want, but she said, generally it's in between this amount. She's like, the higher it is, the more competitive you are. So
plus it'd probably be a board member renting the room, so.
there you go. Lily, there you go.
I'm gonna bring them soon.
There you go.
If you guys are okay with it, I move to, I guess, approve.
All kids that are all married and 6 grandbabies.
Residency program with a $500 stipend.
What about budget wise? If we get there.
Cross that bridge when I get there.
Obviously, yeah.
September and October is not, so it would be 8 months if we got somebody for November, but I mean, again.
No, when is it gonna start this
year? We're
Full
talking
year, so they would let us know by July.
Next year, beginning next year.
Yeah, so that we could put it in the budget or just not have it in the budget if we don't get someone.
They usually do those placements in spring for the
Yeah.
fall.
So we would know before, so we can
Yes.
budget for it.
Yep.
Oh, then I say, yeah.
Can we hire this person? Like,
Yes.
let's say things go wrong.
Yes,
Let's say Becky and this person don't get along.
Yeah.
100%. So it's the same in that aspect as, so they actually would pay Becky the first half first, and then at the end of it, the second half, right, for their financials with this teacher. But if a student wasn't performing or was a problem, it's just like every other placement program, you just call and say, this isn't working out, and they actually will pull them from.
But then the teacher doesn't get all their money, so there's a little bit of a financial
Yes,
motivation
yes.
to stick it out.
Yep.
Now, I take my mental health. over
Yeah,
money.
okay, good.
But there was definitely a lot of like eyeballs when the teachers heard if they could get paid 6,000, not that way. My teacher, when I was student teaching, got paid 500. So 6,000 is a big.
I got a $100 gift card when I did Shin student teaching.
I will say, like, the whole 4-day thing, there's a lot of bonds we're having to extinguish, but again, now we're looking for a student teacher, you know, somebody might like the.
I was gonna say,
days.
that's gonna be appealing.
So.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good. thing
Did
for-
some second?
Who first did it?
I don't know.
I'll second it.
I didn't know if I missed it.
Who first was there?
First.
Did it.
Long day.
Did somebody second or not?
I
Yeah, we just seconded it.
Seconded it. Seconded it. I third it. No, I'm kidding. We need to go home. We're tired.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Okay. Jeff, Christmas gifts.
Coal.
Coal? Coal?
Oh,
Coal. Oh, lump of coal, that's
well,
what they get.
I'm spelling it KOH.
I'll take that for the heat stuff.
You said about 15, is what we have for gift cards. What would we do
How many
to give
do
them?
we need to
we probably need another 15,
20.
or, we need close to 30.
We did get our, so we've been historically using our credit card rebate check for staff gifts. And so we got $600 some odd dollars.
So between the credit card statement credits and that, we could cover it all.
And I can't remember how much I see those ones.
25.
Wait, so. Okay. I missed that, so.
So if we did the 15, they were $25 gift cards to those places from that place. Then the rest of it would be $25 gift cards from,
That we pay for
that
it,
we would have to pay
so we would
for.
pay for like half of it, basically, okay.
With that rebate.
Right, and then I don't know if you choose to do the same companies or just spread the wealth throughout the valley.
Do we have to pick one?
You have to pick just one,
No. So all those places I listed,
ask the people what they would want.
Just like.
that was, so Applebee's, Starbucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, Domino's, Barnes and Nobles, Chipotle, Subway, Ulta, and Kroger, which is Smith's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I could send a survey out and see what people would want.
So
I would
what's
say
the-
easiest would be Starbucks and Barnes and Noble because they're teachers.
See, I say Kroger because our groceries.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a Kroger?
Smith's.
Smith is a Kroger.
Um,
And it can't be, you have to pick one though. It can't just be like, this card will work at any of these.
No, you have to pick one.
so just note to all of us, does the PTO still do that where we send out to get to know the teachers thingy? So maybe like, which is your
If
favorite?
you
item?
receive a gift card,
You know what I mean?
Like, gift ideas,
Yeah.
the gift ideas, people just put, some people put just gift card, they didn't say what to.
But but getting to know you said if you were to see the gift card.
Would you rather Subway?
That's in Mexico, yeah.
No, it's a favorite restaurant.
Yeah, I tried.
But I could send out a survey. I could just send out a
Maybe narrow
survey.
it down
That
to
would
a
be-
couple that, I mean, you know that
If you would like,
certain ones they're
yeah.
not all going to want. We don't have a Chipotle, do we?
Don't we?
Do we now?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
do have a Chipotle.
Alright. Because I just.
And down there in the,
It's on across
North.
by.
Like Krispy Kreme and
yeah.
Kohl's.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So what are we voting here? To spend money to buy the other 15? Is that what we're voting
If
for?
you want to use our credits to get those and then buy the rest, so yeah.
Or save them for next year and get me something different.
I think we could save those points
And spend
however
money
long.
here? Yeah,
and just spend money on stuff too.
about 30 of
Whatever you
them,
want to do.
25.
how much for the other one, 600?
750 bucks if we buy 30 of them at 25.
This is so vague.
It's really hard to follow. I have no idea what they talked about now, because we were talking over here on the side.
So we paid 750 now to get 30 $25 cards, or we use our points and spend 75. So budgeting wise, I know it's pennies do add up though. Should we just spend the money now? Because next year we know our budget's gonna be even lower. And with our
But
points
this,
next year.
this money that we're gonna be spending is out of Fund 15, so it's the
So it's
miscellaneous fund, so next year we'll get more money back from our credit card, we get it every single year. So we spend a
So
lot.
it's okay.
Mhm. Okay, so either way, you guys.
I mean, I don't care like how it happens. Is it possible?
It's all up to you guys. I know what you're asking.
You know what I mean? Like, is it possible? Like, to
You want me
me,
to sign
I'm a very
into-
frugal person, so like, that'd be awesome to get like a $40 or $50 gift card for
Right.
groceries. You know what I mean? Like, there's been, I feel like I say this every year.
I
There's
guess
been a lot of
typically,
changes.
there has been changes. Typically, we try to stick in that 20-25 range,
Yeah,
but
it is.
doesn't mean we have to. And like, I like.
No, but if we go and just buy cards, then we can just buy cards and then you spend them more effort.
If we buy them, can they just be like a Visa gift card? And don't
We
use
can
the
do that though,
points?
right? Or did you decide we can? I
I
remember
talked
there
to
was.
Ross a little bit about it. They just have to sign. Actually, all gift cards, but it's kind of a. Taking my password wrong. Hold on, I can't talk and type. There we go. I'm in. Ross, because I asked him about. I asked him, I asked him about.
Chair for next one.
There's nothing on top.
And. That's something. Before.
And she's gone and you have to do.
We can do gift cards, they just have to sign for them. So when I hand you a gift card, you have to sign saying, I received this gift card for this amount. Because gift cards are like giving cash money. This is not coming out of the general fund, it's coming out of the miscellaneous fund, which is better. So yeah, he's okay with it. Okay. Let's
You just know for a while, it was just.
Our audit is way late. I've noticed you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
Every time I ask him, he's like, it's coming.
So are they supposed to claim that as income then, if they're signing for it?
No,
It's just tracking.
it's just for tracking.
From-
Right now, we have $4,408 in that rebate. Because that's also our flood and electric rebate goes in there too.
So that's where the money comes
An
out
order
of.
saying, I wanna know where those funds great track.
Because they want to know that
Like-
we didn't order that and she didn't use them all.
Right, so it's more like school funds, like where are they going?
Yeah.
Not IRS, okay.
No.
Yes, yeah.
What's
Our
our
internal, like making sure we're putting things right.
I know we do like to stay in a certain budget, but what's like all your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like times are tough, we could bump it up if we are able. I would like to do that.
yeah, I would too.
Then I should probably stay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a very cheap person and I like to look at the pennies when it comes to the budget, but I don't know, I
Or
feel
something
like,
like a Christmas gift, you want
Yeah.
to generous, right? Like.
like the whole, meme of, you know, I worked my ass off all year and got a pizza party, like, you know what I mean? Like, who doesn't have pizza, but come on, like,
Don't just rest of those jackets. Remember those jackets that you showed me last year?
Yeah, the
Should
women-
maybe it's
so much money to
like the money.
Yeah.
because we have done jackets, we have done stuff
Yeah,
before.
we like the money.
But I'll be honest, you know, I mean, when I talk people like the candles and everything, that's great, but when somebody can't.
I don't want another
It's even
coffee cup.
better.
Just
what?
wanted a coffee cup, doesn't want another cup.
I know, yeah,
No,
right?
no.
I want to fit so many.
My husband is banning any more coffee cups or blankets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna abstain, but if you're to go a little bit bigger, I would recommend getting just a plain Visa card or something.
Yeah.
Then they can choose.
Then forego the points. We can leave the point system.
They can wait.
They can accrue till next
Yeah,
year with.
yeah, well,
So-
our points grow.
I mean,
So-
we could approve those later for like, staff.
Use it for like staff lunches and use the card cards.
Yeah.
Right,
Because you
Stuff
could
like
get
that.
it for like Chipotle and
Yeah.
bring in
Right.
stuff too.
and it's Subway too.
Saturday,
Yeah.
You get the big.
So here's my only other thing, if we do like an actual Visa gift card, when you buy those, there's a fee to buy those.
It's like $4.
Like $4.
Yeah, it's an activation fee, I think is what it is.
But again,
What about Amazon cards, are they the same?
still.
We did Amazon cards last year.
Love them.
It's great. They don't have a fee?
They don't have a fee.
I might go that then.
Yeah, everybody buys from Amazon, don't they?
You can invite children on Amazon.
You can.
Love books. This is supporting my reading habit.
So are there 30? Is that what
Buy
we're
groceries over on
30
Amazon.
teachers and stuff?
26, 25, 26.
Okay. That includes like everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
I could look at the handbook.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
that's me.
people.
That includes maintenance, kitchen, everything.
I'll just throw it out there, like, even if we aren't able to continue it year after year, like, I think it would be nice to do like 50.
1,500 for 30.
So 26 of them is 1,300.
Yep.
That's an extra 550.
What do you guys think?
I like that.
I know Rob's
I
on.
can't.
Rob doesn't.
I can think though, right?
You can think.
You just
Um,
vote on it.
yeah,
Are you saying?
I think once you go up, you don't go down. Not opposed to going up, but
That is kind of was my thought too.
like, I don't want to give somebody 50 this year and 25 next year.
True,
Well,
but we can only do what we can do.
Yeah, but if we did 40, it'd be like $1,040 or something. For two staff, is it happy with whatever?
You also didn't know how much you spent on them on the cups or the shirts or anything.
Right, that's true.
So it's not like an established expectation.
True, at times they get like the turkey.
Yeah, we've done smoked turkeys and
And gas cards and we've just done whole.
gas cards and.
I think they're just happy. I forget every year.
Every year
it's something. I'm like, oh, yeah, great.
I just,
And there's been years where there hasn't been any money, you get nothing but a card that says thank you. Not even a piece of art, right?
Well, now we got some points.
I don't know.
We just
I'm just
use it or
saying.
something.
I mean, everything, I think they're happy with whatever's.
Okay, let's do 50. If they complain about it, then next year, if we don't do that, then that's not.
I don't think they're gonna.
No, they won't. They're all gonna read the minutes and be like, what?
They'll be appreciative of what they get.
I know it's a good job.
You have to put it in the minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Do I? Stop it. Do I have to put the dollar amount in the minutes?
I don't think so.
No,
Are you gonna pass on the dollar amount in the minutes? Keep it a surprise.
Did we decide Amazon then? We don't have fees, or what did we decide?
yeah, there's no fees on with that with Amazon, right?
Correct.
I guess, would you rather have a $45 Visa card or a $50?
Dollar Amazon. Half the Visa cards don't work when you get them.
They have to like activate them and do.
You feel like most people, you're gonna get that Visa card, it's gonna go to Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, yeah.
Good point.
Connor started his.
last year. No, purchase gift cards.
Yeah, there you go.
I moved to purchase Amazon gift cards.
Stuff, Christmas gifts.
Like that.
Any more discussion?
Removing Amazon also.
Yeah, just do stuff.
Well, okay. But people are gift cards for staff Christmas, that's what I said.
Okay.
That is exactly
Yeah.
right. And it's recorded, so they can watch the video if they want to choose.
Anyone else? But wait, can you delete that part? Or should I-
I'm good. I'm not
Tristan?
Okay, thank you, good. Okay, all those in favor?
Uh,
Right.
Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Any future agenda items?
that one policy too.
Yes.
8100, was it 8100? No.
No,
It's fine, I can scroll up.
So 2180. 8100 is the one that we read.
No, we did
The
81.
table is 8301.
Thank you.
8301, okay.
Let's see, 8301.
after this, is the second reading is approved, does that mean it's in for 8100 or should do something again next time?
The second reading is done, and all of these are done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means we're done with 8100?
Yep, we're done with all of them.
So are they sending out more?
Except for 8301. I never know until we reach.
Future agenda items would be the sped contract. That out, whatever, that's
Good.
Residential program.
Yeah.
sped program.
No, no,
contract
the
that-
other
with
remote.
The teacher.
Remote.
Yeah, case managers.
Sped remote
Position or.
on.
Just so I remember to, okay.
Okay. Anything else for future agenda?
Okay, thank you. Any information?
I would love to see at some point some data from someone. Whatever you're doing, what you're pulling it out.
Yeah.
Sifting through, I'd love to see some of that. Curious. I need ideas.
No information?
Definitely, yeah, because that's one of my things. I try to pick something I'm gonna get better at every year. Last year was evaluations and this year it's that. Is it so?
Rob?
Second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?